You've probably heard that you need to exercise more, eat less, and cut carbs to lose belly fat, right? But here's what doctors don't tell you. You could be doing everything right at the gym, eating salads every day, and still be carrying around the most dangerous kind of fat in your body, the kind you can't even see. This fat is secretly feeding disease inside your organs, triggering systemic dysfunction and keeping you stuck. And the crazy part? Food can actually fight back against this fat before it ever gets stored. In fact, 5 specific foods, when eaten daily, don't just help you lose weight. They actively turn off the inflammatory cascade in your body and shrink the dangerous fat around your organs. I'm going to show you exactly what they are. For the last 20 years, I've been researching how food either fuels or fights disease. And what I've discovered changes everything. Most people try to fight their body's fat when they should actually be using food to activate their body's defense system. Think about it. When you understand how visceral fat and inflammation work together, you stop obsessing over the scale. You start obsessing over something far more important, your actual health. That's what this video reveals. Look in the mirror. That jiggly fat on your arms, thighs, and under your chin, that's subcutaneous fat, the kind you can grab and pinch. But deep inside your body, wrapped around your liver, your pancreas, your intestines, there's another kind. It's hidden, invisible, metabolically toxic. This is visceral fat. Most people don't realize visceral fat isn't passive. It's actively releasing inflammatory compounds called cytokines into your bloodstream right now. Think of it differently. Visceral fat functions as a toxic factory, manufacturing systemic dysfunction 24/7. Those cytokines travel through your blood vessels and trigger heart disease. People with high visceral fat have 3 times higher cardiac risk, type 2 diabetes. This fat surrounds your pancreas and blocks insulin production, metabolic dysfunction. Your body literally forgets how to burn fuel efficiently. Cognitive decline, chronic inflammatory markers cross the blood-brain barrier. Multiple cancers, colon, breast, prostate cancers, all linked to excess deep belly fat. One critical problem: bathroom scales can't measure visceral fat. 2 people weighing 150 pounds could have completely different health trajectories. One might have dangerous internal fat, while the other is metabolically healthy. This is why I focus on body composition, not body weight. And this is precisely why the foods you select matter more than the calories you count. The cycle works like this. You eat ultra-processed carbs, industrial seed oils, refined sugar, and your body stores it as visceral fat. That stored fat then pumps out inflammatory signaling molecules. These activate your immune system on high alert. Your immune response stays cranked up. Chronic dysfunction sets in. Chronic dysfunction then signals your body to hold on to more visceral fat. It's a vicious loop. Fat creates inflammation. Inflammation creates more fat. Fat and inflammation battling your metabolism simultaneously. The good news? Food interrupts this cycle. When you eat certain foods, they contain bioactive compounds, natural medicinal chemicals with clinically proven effects. These compounds don't get digested and disappear. Instead, they travel into your bloodstream, cross into your tissues, and directly communicate with your visceral fat cells, telling them to stop producing inflammatory signals. They also calm your immune system, they elevate metabolic rate, and they trigger your body to start burning that dangerous deep belly fat for fuel. This isn't theory. Peer-reviewed research shows that eating these 5 foods daily creates measurable fat reduction and improved inflammatory markers within just 30 days. Before I break down these 5 foods, I want your attention on something important. If you're interested in using food to fight disease, optimize your metabolism, and actually add years to your life, subscribe to this channel. I release new videos every single week on the science of food as medicine, delivered in ways you can apply today. And seriously, if this video helps you, share it with someone you know who's struggling with belly fat or dysfunction. You might literally be saving their life. Okay, let's dive in. Starting with food number 5, extra virgin olive oil. I know what you're thinking. Oil has calories, won't it make me fatter? This kind of backward thinking has been making people sick for decades. The truth, extra virgin olive oil ranks among the most powerful anti-inflammatory foods on the planet. It contains a polyphenol called oleocanthal. This compound actually works similarly to ibuprofen in reducing dysfunction, except it comes from nature and doesn't damage your gut. Spain conducted a landmark study tracking over 7,000 people eating a Mediterranean diet. Those consuming the most extra virgin olive oil had 30% lower cardiac risk and significantly lower visceral fat accumulation. Another study from Athens measured visceral fat directly using CT scans. Results: people consuming 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil daily for 8 weeks showed measurable internal fat reduction, while their surface fat remained stable. The oil specifically targeted deep belly fat. Don't cook with extra virgin olive oil. Heat destroys those protective compounds. Instead, use it for salad dressings, drizzle it on soups after cooking, dip bread, add it to hummus. Aim for 3 to 4 tablespoons daily. One critical detail: darker bottles indicate higher polyphenol content. Look for extra virgin olive oil in dark glass, not clear plastic. Food 4. Berries. Blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Shifting to food number 4. Berries, particularly blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries. Berries contain anthocyanins. These pigments give berries their deep purple and red colors, and these anthocyanins represent nature's most potent anti-inflammatory compounds. Anthocyanins enter your bloodstream and travel directly to your visceral fat, suppressing the release of inflammatory signaling molecules. They literally turn down the dysfunction dial inside your body. Harvard University followed 500 women over 4 years, measuring visceral fat using sophisticated imaging. The finding: women consuming 1 cup of blueberries daily had 25% less visceral fat accumulation than women who rarely ate berries. 1 cup daily. 25% difference. The University of Maine studied wild blueberries specifically, which contain even higher anthocyanin levels than cultivated varieties. Participants consuming wild blueberries daily for 8 weeks showed 18% reduction in deep belly fat, 22% improvement in metabolic markers, 14% reduction in inflammatory markers in blood. Buy frozen berries. Frozen varieties actually contain higher anthocyanin levels than fresh because they're frozen at peak ripeness. Throw them in morning smoothies, add to oatmeal, eat them straight from the freezer like popsicles. Pro strategy: mix your berries, combine blueberries with blackberries with raspberries, because each variety offers a different anthocyanin profile. You want full spectrum exposure to these compounds. Food number 3. Fatty fish. Wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies, herring. These species contain omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA. Omega-3s get tremendous hype, but most people don't grasp the actual mechanism. This is what happens. Omega-3s integrate into the cell membranes of your immune cells. Once embedded, they reprogram how those immune cells behave. Inflammation markers drop significantly. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition published a landmark study. Researchers took participants with metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, insulin resistance, and excess visceral fat. Half received fish oil supplements, the other half got placebo. After 12 weeks, the fish oil group experienced 21% reduction in deep belly fat, 14% reduction in liver fat, significant triglyceride improvement, better insulin sensitivity markers. The placebo group showed almost zero change. Another study tracked people eating fatty fish 3 times weekly versus those eating it rarely. High-frequency fish eaters showed 30% lower visceral fat and significantly better inflammatory markers across the board. I eat fatty fish 4 to 5 times weekly. Salmon Monday, sardines Wednesday, as a snack with crackers, mackerel Friday. Target 4 to 6 ounces per serving to get meaningful omega-3 dosage. Sardines deserve mention. They're cheaper than salmon, they're sustainable, they contain even higher omega-3 content, and they come in convenient cans. Keep several cans in your pantry for quick meals. If fish doesn't appeal, flax seeds and chia seeds provide omega-3s too. But fish offers the most bioavailable form. Your body absorbs EPA and DHA from fish far more efficiently. Food number 2 carries serious power: cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, Kale. These contain sulforaphane, one of the most researched anti-inflammatory compounds in modern science. Sulforaphane activates NRF2 pathways in your cells. These pathways represent your cell's master antioxidant and anti-dysfunction defense system. Think of sulforaphane as hitting the master reset button on dysfunction throughout your body. Johns Hopkins University conducted landmark research on broccoli sprouts, which contain up to 50 times more sulforaphane than mature broccoli. They gave participants broccoli sprout extract for 12 weeks and measured inflammatory markers. The results stunned researchers: 27% reduction in systemic inflammatory markers, 19% reduction in visceral fat, improved liver function markers, better metabolic health across the board. Researchers also performed brain imaging and discovered that anti-inflammatory effects cross the blood-brain barrier, reducing brain inflammation itself. Study participants reported better mental clarity and improved mood. The University of Tokyo tracked people eating cruciferous vegetables daily versus those eating them rarely. Daily vegetable consumers showed significantly lower visceral fat, lower inflammatory markers, and better insulin function. Roast broccoli with olive oil, garlic, sea salt, make it crispy. Most people boil broccoli and hate it. Boiling leaches out protective compounds. Roast it or steam it lightly instead. For Brussels sprouts, slice them in half, toss with olive oil and salt, roast at 400 degrees until caramelized. They're incredible. Raw or lightly cooked broccoli preserves more sulforaphane than extended cooking. Add raw broccoli to salads. Snack on broccoli sprouts. Both approaches work. Finally, food number 1. The most powerful anti-inflammatory recommendation I make: turmeric. Turmeric contains curcumin, backed by over 13,000 scientific studies. It ranks among the most researched plant compounds in medicine, and here's why it matters for visceral fat. Curcumin acts as a master regulator of dysfunction. When curcumin enters your bloodstream, it doesn't just reduce inflammation. It penetrates visceral fat cells and turns off the genes commanding them to pump out inflammatory signals. You're literally silencing the dysfunction factory from the inside. Thailand conducted research on curcumin in 240 people with metabolic syndrome. After 30 days, here's what happened: 31% reduction in visceral fat, 28% reduction in inflammatory markers, 22% improvement in insulin function, better cholesterol profiles. The control group showed almost zero improvement. Tufts University published groundbreaking research involving brain imaging. The curcumin group showed reduced brain inflammation, better cognitive function, and improved mood markers compared to control. One problem: curcumin absorbs poorly on its own. Your body absorbs only about 3 to 5% of curcumin, unless paired with something specific. You need black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by over 2,000%. That's not exaggeration. That's what research shows. My daily routine: I take a quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, add a pinch of black pepper, mix with fat olive oil, coconut oil, or milk, and consume it daily. Sometimes I add it to soups, sometimes to scrambled eggs, sometimes I make golden milk. Let's recap these 5 foods. Food 5. Extra virgin olive oil, vertical bar 3 to 4 tablespoons daily. Food 4. Berries, vertical bar 1 cup, mixed berries daily. Food 3. Fatty fish, vertical bar 4 to 6 ounces, 4 to 5 times per week. Food 2. Cruciferous vegetables, vertical bar 2 to 3 cups daily. Food 1. Turmeric, vertical bar 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon with black pepper daily. Here's what happens when you eat these 5 foods every single day for 30 days. Your visceral fat doesn't just shrink, it actively shrinks, because these foods directly tell your fat cells to stop producing inflammatory signals. Your inflammatory markers drop in blood work. Your immune system calms down, your metabolism improves, energy skyrockets, sleep quality deepens, brain fog lifts. The scale might not change as dramatically as expected, but your body composition transforms. This is precisely why I tell people, focus on how you feel. Focus on your energy levels. Focus on your health markers, not the number on the scale. One clarification: these 5 foods work best within a broader anti-inflammatory lifestyle. That means reducing ultra-processed foods, managing stress, prioritizing sleep, and moving your body. But food is the foundation. Food is what you control multiple times every single day. So here's my challenge. Pick these 5 foods. Commit to eating them daily for the next 30 days. Track how you feel. Notice your energy. Observe how your clothes fit. I guarantee you'll see changes that the scale misses, but your body will absolutely feel them. First, subscribe to this channel. I release new videos weekly on the science of food as medicine. You'll learn things that literally change how you eat and how you live. Second, share this video with someone struggling with belly fat or dysfunction. You might literally be the catalyst for their life transformation. Third, drop a comment below and tell me which of these 5 foods excites you most. Share your favorite preparation method. I read every single comment. Want deeper research? The description contains a free guide with recipes, meal planning templates, and complete scientific references. Everything you need to implement this today. The power to fight your visceral fat and reduce dysfunction already exists inside you. You just need to feed it the right information. I'm Dr. William Lai. Stay curious about your food. I'll see you in the next video.